Okay, somebody gave me one of these here keyless chucks here. They didn't want it, and they asked if I want to use it, if I want to have it, and I said yeah. And I think it'd be nice to have a keyless chuck that I can use on my milling machine and on my lathe tailstock. However, it does take a threaded rod to go inside there, and I don't have any kind of 2 Morse taper drill chucks like this that came with my lathe and mill machine that I can actually take off here and thread onto here, so I have to make my own kind of arbor for this. And originally I wasn't going to do any kind of a video on this because you already seen how I did my arbors and things with my tapering jig and things, so that's why I figured I'll just go ahead and do the project without any video. But as I've been looking at this and thinking about how I want to machine this, there's a little bit of a design procedures that's going to be involved here, and I thought it might be just interesting to make a video to show the thinking process of the steps that I would need to take in order to machine this properly to get this as accurate as I possibly can. And that's what this video is going to be about. For starters, here's what I'm going to be making right here. It's going to be the Morse taper on the back side like this here, a flange, and then just this here threaded rod on the front side here to screw the chuck onto. And I have my dimensions here. And what, like I said, I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at the procedure of how I'm going to machine this so that I can get everything as accurate as possible. From looking at the project here, I can see that the interior, the inside diameter thread here, 3/8/16 for the drawbar, that there threaded inside here is only going to be used for the drawbar to keep everything tight. So that really is not that important as far as being concentric with the threaded outside bar here on this side. That's going to be threaded on the chuck itself. So what I need to do is I think I'm going to work on getting the drilling process and the threading process for the drawbar done first before I do anything else on this part here. And then I'm going to probably go ahead and machine down the front part here to the specific diameter necessary to get me a 3/8/24 thread on there. And then once I get that, then I think the next thing to do would be to make a small fixture with a 3/8/24 nut that I can then put into my lathe, and right in the process of on the lathe there, do the threading, and then after that, then keeping that in the lathe, I would then thread this into that nut and secure it, and then put the tailstock on here, and then from there I should be able to do the actual tapering itself with the tapering jig. And I think that would be the process, because that way there, the tapering of the Morse taper here would then be concentric with the thread in a nut that's in the same line on the lathe. And you'll see what I'm doing whenever I start machining this. We'll see how that works out. And for the 3/8/16 drawbar, happens for the drawbar, which is 3/8/16 thread. Let's get the drawbar here, and I have enough thread there. That's good. All right. Next logical solution would be to take the bar out now, switch it around, and then machine this side. I have this spaced off from the last time, and then what I'll do now is I'll drill here so I can put my center in here for the tailstock center, and then I can take this off of here, and then I can start machining the side that's going to receive the outside diameter thread. So we can put the tailstock center in here now. Okay, that's good. Okay, get the tailstock in here now. and then we'll be ready to start machining the neck now for the outside diameter for the thread, 3/24 thread. Machine now the shaft now for the outside thread that will go inside the chuck itself now. Okay, about 382. It. So now we'll put this on. Alright, turn this on now. Okay, I'm pretty satisfied with that. That looks good, nice and straight. A 1/8" drill bit in here. And all I'm really checking for is I'm checking, I know there's going to be some run out on the chuck itself too, but I'm just trying to see how much run out there is with respect to where we're at now on the threads with respect to the chuck being screwed onto the threads. Now this here is overhanging this much off the jaws here, so let's just see how much run out we have now just with this setup here. And that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. And like I said, there's a lot of overhang here, and depending on how much run out is on the chuck itself, I would say the threads threaded into the chuck works good. We have a good threading engagement there, and that's the main thing I'm checking for. Okay, the next logical step would be to turn this around now. We have this threaded here for the chuck. We have this threaded for the drawbar. We can put this inside here like this now, and we can have a nice solid way of machining this now down to the minor diameter of a Morse 2 taper here. We'll get that minor diameter here, we'll get that machine down here for just a little bit for a reference, and then we can start setting up the next step for this. Okay, 580, and that's what I need now. That's my reference. Whenever I go to set my tapering jig up, I'll have a reference here to work off of now. That machine so far, this part right here. This part here gets the chuck itself. This side here gets the drawbar. Okay, and then after that now we do our tapering down to here for the 2 Morse tapers so that we can use that in the machines. The next thing to do now will be to make a fixture that I can screw this into on the lathe whenever I go to do the tapering, so that the taper will be concentric with the threads and concentric with this here, because what's actually happening is it is actually registering right here on the flat of this and on the flat of that. So these 2 flats together here is where it's registering. So I need to machine a piece now like this, and then get this flat onto there like that in the lathe, and then I'll be able to have that register here when I do all the tapering. Now here's a sequence of operations that I think I'm going to do here. I have to machine this piece here. This is going to be a nut that is going to receive the threaded portion of the bar here, so that I can make the taper be concentric with the threaded portion here. So what I need to do is I need to face this off and then drill it and tap it for the 3/8 24 thread. However, though, before I do that, I need to be able to get the tapering jig on here and get that lined up also, because once I have this in the lathe and I get it machined faced off and then I get it drilled and tapped, I have to keep this remaining in the lathe. I can't take this out because that's now referenced to the lathe spindle in order to machine this. And so therefore I need to before I do this, I need to set up my tapering jig first. Okay, now that I have it set up on the angle here, okay, I have it set up on the angle for the 2 Morse taper angle. Take everything back out of here again, and that includes, I want to take this off also. Put my regular cross slide back on here again so I can do the machining on the nut fixture that I'm going to be making next. Okay, now that's going to be in there for good now, because that's going to become a fixture now whenever I go to do the tapering of the workpiece. So the main thing here now is to face this off and get this as flat as possible, because the flatness of this being faced off is actually going to be the reference for the workpiece. It's not the thread, but the actual facing. Flatness against flatness is the actual register. So I got to make sure I got this as flat as possible on the facing here, because the workpiece is actually going to be referencing off of the drill chuck on the flat surface, So that's why I got to make this fixture now a nice flat reference. Okay, so now I'm going to drill and tap for a 3/8 thread. Aha, there it is. Alright. That looks pretty good. Pretty concentric. The main thing is right here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's going to work nice. We have nice registration. The flat surface of this, which is going to eventually reference to the flat surface of the drill chuck that's going to be attached to it, is now referenced off of here, and so now we can start doing the tapering, and the tapering now will be referenced off of the flat surface, what we have here now, and that's exactly what we want. Alright, next thing up is to put the tapering jig on now and start working on the taper. Trying a tailstock here, it's Morse, 2 Morse taper. Alright. Okay, let's try the milling machine now. Draw a bar around here. Drill chuck. Okay, let's put a drill bit in here now. With no center drill. See, it's a little bit rough up through there where I was machining that at. However, though, I'm going to check for run out here, even with that roughness, and just to check for run out. That's not bad at all. And like I said, that's a little bit rough right there too. And that is showing really nice. There's no run out, very, very little, so I'm very happy with that. The arbor we made right there, and the fixture that I used to machine the arbor. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.